The silent threat. The Deep Space Monitoring Station orbiting Jupiter hummed with an unusual tension. Dr. Elena Rodriguez leaned closer to the quantum sensor array, her fingers tracing the unusual energy signature dancing across the holographic display. Something was fundamentally wrong with the background radiation patterns. "Computer, run spectral analysis again," she commanded, her voice cutting through the station's ambient noise. The AI's response was immediate, confirming what Elena already suspected. The energy readings were not random. They were a deliberate, synchronized pattern emerging from the galactic rim. Thousands of light-years away on the methane-rich world of Zorn Prime, the Kreltheri civilization was experiencing its own moment of existential dread. Their long-range quantum sensors had detected an anomalous wave propagation that defied conventional understanding of space-time dynamics. High Counselor Inxera studied the intricate holographic projections, her translucent exoskeleton reflecting the deep blue ambient lighting of the central command chamber. The data was clear. Something was approaching. Something that could systematically dismantle entire stellar civilizations without traditional weaponry. "We need external perspectives," Inxera announced to her council, a rare admission of vulnerability for a species that had dominated their local galactic cluster for millennia. The Kreltheri were not accustomed to seeking help, particularly from younger spacefaring civilizations. Back on Earth, the Interstellar Threat Assessment Division received the encrypted transmission from the Kreltheri diplomatic corps. The message was cryptic but urgent, a shared threat that transcended individual species' territorial boundaries. Colonel Marcus Chen reviewed the transmission, his cybernetic neural interface processing the complex alien communication protocols. The quantum encryption was unlike anything human systems had encountered before. It took their best cryptanalysts nearly 72 hours to decode the core message. The threat was quantum in nature, a cascading resonance wave that could systematically destabilize atomic structures across entire planetary systems. Traditional defensive strategies would be useless. This was not a war that could be fought with conventional weapons or tactics. Elena Rodriguez found herself suddenly transferred from her research station to a classified briefing in Geneva. Her expertise in quantum mechanics and xenophysics made her an unexpected but critical asset. As she entered the secure briefing room, she realized this was no ordinary mission. The assembled team represented humanity's most unconventional problem solvers. Theoretical physicists, xenobiologists, quantum engineers, and military strategists. Their mission was clear but daunting: develop a defensive strategy against a threat that could potentially erase entire civilizations from existence. What the Kreltheri didn't know, what no galactic civilization had yet realized, was that humanity's greatest strength had always been its capacity for radical adaptation. Where established civilizations saw insurmountable challenges, humans saw puzzles waiting to be solved. Elena looked around the room, understanding that the next few weeks would determine not just humanity's fate, but potentially the survival of multiple galactic civilizations. The silent threat was approaching, and humanity was about to demonstrate why they were far more than just another emerging species in the cosmic landscape. Unlikely allies. The Geneva Command Center transformed overnight into a hub of frantic scientific collaboration. Holographic displays flickered with complex quantum equations, while representatives from the Kreltheri civilization watched with a mixture of skepticism and desperate hope. Dr. Elena Rodriguez stood at the center of a massive circular display, her fingers manipulating three-dimensional data streams that represented the mysterious quantum threat. Beside her, Chief Researcher Dexenal from the Kreltheri Scientific Corps observed with intense concentration. "The resonance wave isn't just a weapon," Elena explained, her voice steady despite the monumental implications of her discovery. "It's more like a systematic deconstruction protocol that targets the fundamental atomic stability of matter itself." Exenal's crystalline communication implant translated her words, creating a simultaneous interpretation for both human and Kreltheri teams. The alien's response was instantaneous, a series of complex clicks and harmonic tones that the translation software rendered into precise scientific language. Your hypothesis suggests a quantum-level interference mechanism. Exenol responded, but our civilizations have never successfully developed a counter-resonance technology. Colonel Marcus Chen interjected, his cybernetic interface projecting tactical overlays onto the main display. That's where human innovation comes into play. We don't just see problems, we see opportunities for unprecedented solutions. The collaborative team represented a microcosm of interstellar potential. Humans, with their adaptive thinking and technological creativity, worked alongside the mathematically precise Krull theory. Each species brought unique perspectives to the complex quantum challenge. Dr. Rodriguez's team began developing what they called the adaptive quantum resonance shield, a theoretical defensive technology that could dynamically respond to the incoming threat's frequency modulations. Traditional shield technologies were static, but humans proposed something revolutionary: a living, breathing defensive system that could learn and adapt in real time. Exenol was skeptical. The Krull theory had centuries of advanced scientific research, yet this proposal seemed almost impossibly ambitious. Your concept challenges everything we understand about quantum mechanics, the alien researcher noted. Elena smiled, a gesture that momentarily confused the Krull theory observers. Challenging established understanding is humanity's specialty. Military strategists began mapping potential defensive scenarios. The quantum threat appeared to be systematically targeting civilizations with complex technological infrastructures. By analyzing previous destruction patterns, they could predict potential attack vectors. "We're not just defending," Colonel Chen explained during a strategic briefing. "We're developing a comprehensive counter-strategy that turns the threat's methodology against itself." The Krull theory leadership watched these developments with a growing sense of cautious optimism. Humanity was presenting itself not as a potential savior, but as a strategic partner capable of thinking beyond conventional limitations. As days turned into weeks, the collaborative team made breakthrough after breakthrough. Each discovered quantum interaction brought them closer to understanding the mysterious threat's fundamental nature. The adaptive quantum resonance shield began taking shape, not just as a theoretical concept, but as a potentially viable defensive technology. What neither the humans nor the Krull theory fully realized was that this collaborative effort was about to change the fundamental understanding of interstellar conflict and cooperation. The quantum breakthrough. The research facility deep beneath the Swiss Alps had become a crucible of scientific innovation. Here, humanity's most brilliant minds worked alongside Krull theory researchers, pushing the boundaries of quantum mechanics and theoretical physics. Dr. Elena Rodriguez stood before a massive quantum entanglement chamber, her eyes reflecting the intricate dance of subatomic particles. The adaptive quantum resonance shield was no longer just a concept. It was becoming a tangible reality. "We're not just creating a defensive mechanism," she explained to Colonel Marcus Chen and researcher Exenol. "We're developing a living technology that can predict and counteract quantum disruption at its source." The breakthrough came from an unexpected intersection of human creativity and alien scientific precision. Traditional Krull theory approaches relied on mathematical perfection, while human researchers introduced an element of adaptive unpredictability that transformed their collective understanding. Exenol's communication implant translated a series of complex harmonic tones. "Your approach introduces a level of quantum uncertainty that our models cannot fully comprehend. It's fascinating." Colonel Chen watched the holographic displays, cybernetic neural interfaces processing massive amounts of data in milliseconds. "Uncertainty is our strength," he remarked. "Where established scientific paradigms see limitations, we see opportunities." The quantum threat continued to advance, leaving behind a trail of systematically dismantled stellar systems. Each civilization it encountered was reduced to atomic dust, with no time to mount a meaningful defense. But now, humanity and the Krull theory stood on the precipice of a revolutionary counter-strategy. The adaptive quantum resonance shield worked on a principle never before attempted in galactic conflict. Instead of creating a static defensive barrier, it would generate a dynamic quantum field that could anticipate and neutralize destructive resonance waves before they could manifest. Days turned into weeks of intense research and development. The facility beneath the Alps became a beacon of hope for multiple galactic civilizations, watching nervously as the quantum threat approached. Alina's team discovered a critical breakthrough. By introducing a form of quantum entanglement that incorporated biological adaptive algorithms, they could create a defensive system that literally learned and evolved in real time. It was part technology, part living organism, a hybrid solution that defied conventional scientific understanding. "We're not just building a shield," Alina explained during a critical briefing. "We're creating a quantum immune system for entire civilizations." The Krell-Theory leadership watched with a mixture of hope and trepidation. Humanity was proposing something that went beyond traditional defensive technologies, a fundamental reimagining of how civilizations could protect themselves against existential threats. As the final components of the adaptive quantum resonance shield came together, a sense of anticipation filled the research facility. They were about to test a technology that could either save multiple galactic civilizations or potentially cause unprecedented quantum instability. Colonel Chen looked at Alina, a rare smile crossing his typically stoic features. "Ready to change the universe?" Alina nodded, her finger hovering over the activation sequence. The quantum threat was approaching, and humanity was about to demonstrate why they were more than just another emerging species in the cosmic landscape. Adaptive warfare. The quantum battlefield stretched across light years, a canvas of mathematical precision and unpredictable human innovation. As the destructive resonance wave approached, the adaptive quantum resonance shield came online with a silent, devastating efficiency that would redefine interstellar conflict. Dr. Elena Rodriguez stood at the primary control station, her hands moving with surgical precision across holographic interfaces. Each movement sent cascading quantum algorithms racing through an intricate network of entangled systems. The shield was more than a defensive mechanism. It was a living, thinking entity. "Incoming quantum disruption detected," the AI system announced, its voice calm despite the apocalyptic threat. Adaptive response initiating. The first wave of the quantum threat approached with mathematical certainty. Previous civilizations had been systematically dismantled within moments of contact. But this time, something was different. Where the destructive wave expected uniform resistance, it encountered a dynamic learning system. The adaptive quantum resonance shield didn't just block the attack. It analyzed it, understood it, and began to reshape its own quantum structure in real time. Colonel Marcus Chen watched from the tactical overlay, his cybernetic interfaces processing billions of calculations per second. "We're not just defending," he muttered. "We're learning." The Krell-Theory observers watched in stunned silence. Dixonal, their chief researcher, couldn't believe the system's capabilities. Human unpredictability had transformed a potential extinction-level event into something entirely unexpected. The quantum threat probed, attacked, and retreated, each interaction teaching the adaptive quantum resonance shield new defensive strategies. It was warfare unlike anything the galaxy had ever witnessed. Instead of brute force, humanity had introduced adaptive intelligence to quantum conflict. "The shield is developing quantum antibodies," Alina explained, her voice a mixture of scientific excitement and strategic focus. "It's treating the threat like a quantum pathogen." As the battle continued, the shield began to do something unprecedented. It didn't just defend. It started to push back. Quantum tendrils of defensive energy began to trace the source of the destructive wave, analyzing its fundamental structure. The Krell-Theory leadership watched in a state of increasing amazement. What they had perceived as a young, inexperienced civilization was demonstrating a level of scientific and strategic thinking that challenged everything they understood about technological warfare. "They're not just defending," one Krell-Theory elder remarked. "They're evolving the very concept of defense." Hours turned into days, with the quantum battle playing out across impossible distances. The adaptive quantum resonance shield continued its relentless analysis and adaptation. Each moment made it stronger, more sophisticated, more unpredictable. Colonel Chen turned to Elena, a rare moment of genuine emotion crossing his typically stoic features. "We're writing a new chapter in galactic history," he said. Elena nodded, her eyes reflecting the complex quantum displays. They weren't just fighting a threat. They were redefining the very nature of survival in the universe. I'll proceed with the final part of the Resonance Protocol. Part 5. Transcendence. The quantum battlefield reached its culmination in a moment of unprecedented cosmic revelation. The adaptive quantum resonance shield had transformed from a defensive mechanism into something far more profound, a living, thinking entity that challenged the fundamental understanding of technological evolution. Dr. Elena Rodriguez watched in awe as the shield began to interact with the quantum threat in ways no one had predicted. It wasn't just defending or countering. It was communicating. Complex quantum algorithms danced between the defensive system and the destructive wave, creating a language of mathematical interactions that transcended traditional concepts of conflict. "We're witnessing first contact," Elena whispered, her voice barely audible above the low hum of quantum processors. The Krell-Theory research team, led by Hexagonal, realized they were observing something beyond scientific understanding. The human-created shield was demonstrating a level of adaptive intelligence that defied all previous galactic research. Colonel Marcus Chen's cybernetic interfaces worked overtime, processing the incredible data streams. "It's learning," he reported, "not just defending, but understanding the fundamental nature of the threat." As the quantum battle reached its zenith, something extraordinary happened. The adaptive quantum resonance shield began to unravel the very structure of the destructive wave. Instead of simply blocking or destroying, it was deconstructing the quantum threat's fundamental essence. Hexagonal's communication implant translated a series of complex observations. "They are not fighting," the alien researcher noted. "They are conversing on a quantum level." The shield's adaptive algorithms revealed the true nature of the quantum threat, not as a deliberate attack, but as a fundamental misunderstanding between different forms of cosmic existence. Humanity's approach of adaptive thinking had transformed a potential extinction event into a moment of profound cosmic understanding. Hours turned into days, with the quantum interaction continuing its complex dance. The adaptive quantum resonance shield was doing something unprecedented. It was teaching the destructive wave about cooperation, adaptation, and mutual survival. "We're rewriting the rules of cosmic interaction," Elena explained to the assembled scientific team. "Not through destruction, but through understanding." The final moments of the quantum conflict were anticlimactic in their profound simplicity. The destructive wave didn't collapse or get destroyed. It transformed. The adaptive quantum resonance shield had effectively communicated a fundamental truth about existence. Survival is not about elimination, but adaptation. Galactic civilizations watched in stunned silence as humanity demonstrated a level of scientific and philosophical thinking that challenged everything they understood about conflict and survival. Colonel Chen turned to Elena, a rare smile crossing his typically stoic features. "We didn't just save civilizations," he said. "We changed the fundamental understanding of cosmic interaction." The quantum threat was gone, but something far more significant had emerged. A new paradigm of interstellar communication and understanding, born from human creativity, adaptability, and an unprecedented approach to problem solving. As the research facility celebrated their victory, no one fully understood the true magnitude of what had just occurred. Humanity had not just defended against a threat, they had transcended the very concept of conflict. The universe would never be the same. Would you like me to help you with the SEO optimized title and YouTube description as mentioned in your original request?